to the near side looking for Bennett. He's got him, and it's complete. Miami over Rochester 39-16. Allie Harsh, Karina Peterson, and Elena Richard each with 4 for Rochester. North Miami in their road reds, Rochester in their home whites, and we are ready for action here. Game number 3 for Rochester in the conference. Game number 5 for North Miami.
Yeah, Rochester already had one conference game snowed out. That was the Mechanic-Wall game, and we'll have that next Tuesday.
The game that North Miami's makeup game with Caston will be Tuesday as well.
Oh, wow.
They've got 3 in a row. Tonight, today, Monday, and Tuesday. So it'll be Grant and Stasiak to jump center. Rochester will go to our left, North Miami to our right. Brad Thomas on David Musselman. Tip is up, and Rochester controls the tip. Holland goes to the basket hard. Layup on the way is no good, but a foul coming immediately on Stiver, and that's going to send Alexa Holland to the line to shoot 2. Man, if that could have went and won, that have got all these people, all 5 of them, all excited in the gym today.
Right. Well, Holland. First shot at the free throw line is good, and the Rochester Lady Zebras off to that fast start against Triton on Wednesday, again with a good start early here in this game.
X with 1 more, hits both free throws. Rochester a full court press. Hartley gets it from Stiver. Stiver then has her pass stocked away and picked off by Larkin, then taken away by Hartley, stolen by Holland. X on the right wing, top of the key to Larkin, straightaway 3 for the Lady Zebras on the way, is off the side of the rim, no good. Malco grabs the board. Over the top of the defense to Stasiak, top to Larkin, right elbow, gives him the corner to Ruff. Over the basketball, drives the baseline, cut off after 1 dribble, bounce pass on the right wing to Larkin, now to Holland, who resets on the left side of the floor, now back to the middle of the floor.
We saw the Lady Zebras. Malco shoots a 3. That's good, as they attack that middle a lot against Triton early in that first quarter.
Full court press by the Lady Zebras, 5-0 Rochester. 45 seconds gone in the first quarter. Ball's loose, Grant picks it up and runs. Emmy Grant picks it up between the rings, gives outside. Oh, Stasiak is down hard, and then Rochester turns it over. Stasiak still on the floor.
Holding that now. The knee is what's
knee on an ankle on that left foot.
And she's
having a tough time getting off the floor. Christina there.
Yeah, it's the knee.
And she is rubbing the knee. Christina Hughes right there. And she's going to limp off, and that's probably going to bring either Maddie or Kennedy into the game. Not sure exactly what happened there, but she's limping off the floor, and it'll be Rochester basketball after the turnover, and that'll bring in the 6'2 sophomore Kennedy Musselman into the game for Rochester. So Keaton will sit down, and she'll be attended by Rochester's trainer, Christina Hughes. So Rochester the basketball going to our left. Up 5-0 here with a minute gone in the first quarter.
Morgan Ruff stole the ball from North Miami, so another turnover against the Lady Warriors here in this first quarter.
North Miami in a 2-3 zone. Holland at the free throw line in the paint. Kicks it out to Ruff behind the arc in the left wing. Dribble to the middle of the floor. Now sends right side to Larkin. Lob pass to Musselman. Kennedy jumper off the glass is good. They got inside the zone, Bradley, and that's what helped.
Good feed by Larkin up over the top to Musselman. Musselman did a great job of catching it up high, keeping the ball high, and putting it off the glass.
North Miami breaks the press and throws it out of bounds. Going to go back to Zebras, leading 7-0 with a minute and a half gone. And Coach Demeen will take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI.
Timeout, North Miami.
Six and a half minutes to play in the first quarter. Rochester up 7-0, and after the North Miami timeout and turnover, Rochester will have it back going to our left. Stasiak still on the end of the bench, still in pain.
Yeah, hopefully that'll get better over a few days, and we'll have her in the second half of the season.
North Miami in a 2-3 zone. Rochester the basketball. Holland left corner to Larkin. Looks at the 3, passes it up now to X. X left corner now, right wing pass to Malco. Back to Holland. Fakes the 3 in the paint. Layup off the glass is no good. Musselman the rebound. Her putback is short. And the rebound to the Fever. And she gives off to Ricketts.
The Lady Zebras forced 11 turnovers against Triton on Wednesday. They've caused 3 so far in this first quarter against the Lady Warriors.
Grant against Musselman, has a block, picked up by Larkin. Larkin then is pushed out of bounds. And there's no foul. A lot of contact down there, no foul.
That'll be
yucky no call.
First turnover for the Lady Zebras. Great job by Musselman, though. She was obviously the much taller player on the field, on the floor. She just put her hands straight up. She didn't swat at the ball. She didn't crouch down and try and get into there, down low.
The Fever shot is blocked by Larkin, picked up by Musselman. Kennedy clears the alley and Rochester runs. Pushes ahead to Ruff. 7-0 Rochester. 5:45 to play in the first quarter. Larkin between the rings at the volleyball line. Now to Ruff. Thought about a 3, passes it up. Dribbles to the top of the key and resets for Rochester. Sends right wing to Holland. X3 left wing is no good. And the rebound to Stiver. Stiver runs for North Miami. Rochester up 7-0, right through the center circle with Stiver. Sets up the offense for North Miami against the man-to-man defense of Rochester. Timms drives to the left and loses it out of bounds, and we go back to Rochester, and that's another forced turnover by the Lady Zebras.
That's the 5th one here in the first quarter against the Lady Warriors.
5:20 to play first quarter, 7-0 Rochester. 2-3 zone by the Lady Warriors. Holland on the right wing gives to Ruff. Ruff lobs it into Musselman. That's a tough pass to handle. North Miami's Hartley knocks it out of bounds. And it's going to stay with Rochester baseline right.
And the freshman Hartley for North Miami did a great job. She stayed on the opposite block long enough to bait Ruff into throwing that lob pass, and she came across behind and tried to steal it.
Musselman then is fouled on the reach-in by North Miami. And I tell you what, this Hartley young lady is a freshman. She is going to be really, really good.
She's really good. She's really good now.
Yeah.
She's going to be really, really good.
Holland bounce pass to Ruff. Moe in the paint. Kicks it out to Larkin. Back to Holland. X behind the arc on the right wing. Dribbles against the 2-3 zone. Top to Larkin. Allie with the basketball. Left wing pass to Malco. Into Musselman. She tipped it. Ball loose on the floor. Last touch by Ruff. And it's going to go out back for North Miami.
Tough pass over the top of the double team that was on Musselman. Ruff on the opposite block almost came up with the loose ball.
Timms gets the inbound pass in. She picks her way through traffic, runs it through the center circle, works high on the right side for North Miami. 7-0 Rochester. 4:45 to play in the first quarter. Timms to Grant, right elbow, works against Musselman, takes her to the baseline. Her pocket pick, pushed out of bounds by Holland. It will stay with North Miami baseline right. That's all Kennedy has to do is just wait for help.
Well, like we talked about earlier in the season, the basket's not going to move, and this time Kennedy just slid straight down the lane, just kept her hands straight up, did a great job. Grant unable to get around the big body.
Hartley against Malco, works on the right wing. For North Miami, bounce pass into Grant. Grant in the paint.
Just get those hands up, get them off the hips, just put them straight up.
Stiver way outside left against Rochester's man-to-man. Timms, 3, right wing. Nope, off the glass. Hartley's put back over Musselman is good. 7-2, Rochester.
That's where the freshman Hartley is so dangerous. Coming in, getting those rebounds and put back shots.
4:10 to play, first quarter.
She springs off the floor so quickly.
Larkin over the top of the defense to Holland. Between the rings, now to Ruff. Moe against Timms. Right side to Holland. She goes to the basket hard. Layup is no good. Musselman with the rebound. Kicks it back outside to Ruff. Now to Larkin. Larkin to the left wing. Back to Ruff, top of the key. 3 straight away for Rochester's in and out. No good. And the rebound to Hartley. She has it taken away by Malco. Becky's layup on the way is good.
Great job by Malco to not give up on that basketball. She was able to stick her hand in and take it away from Hartley.
And then LaFever has her basketball knocked out of her hands out of bounds and will stay with North Miami on the far side. 9-2 Rochester. 3:43 to play in the first quarter. I believe Stiver is going to trigger that in. She is. He gets it into Hartley right at the timeline. Katie Hartley works against Malco in the backcourt for the Lady Warriors.
Hartley's a 5'7" freshman, but she plays like she's 6 foot.
Yeah, she jumps well. You're right. Tim, lob pass down to Grant. Saves it going out of bounds around the baseline. She's still got a dribble, gets a double team. Has it deflected out of bounds by Rochester. They'll stay with North Miami. North Miami will take another timeout. This one will be a 60. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball. 92.1 WROI. 2:25 to play in the first quarter. Rochester up 9-2. Keaton Stasiak with ice now on that knee with the brace.
Yeah, we won't see her back today. I really doubt it.
That's good news, actually. I just Hey, 44 on the floor going after the ball. I like seeing that. On.
You sound surprised.
I like it. Tie-up goes to North Miami. And we'll get to the injury report here real quick. Bounce pass comes into Lefevre, knocked out of bounds again by Rochester. Not the knee, arch of the foot.
Arch of the foot. All right, well.
Which is better than the knee at this point.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Make that Stiver looks to get it in. Does over the top to Hartley. Hartley top of the key, right side to Tim.
And again, I'd be surprised to see Stasiak back in this game today.
Well, you know as well as I do, that may not be even Tony's call.
Yeah, you're right.
Hartley over the top to Tim. Back to Hartley in the paint. Rises up over the defense. It's good again. A.D. Hartley has all four, and it's 9-4.
Yeah.
2:57 to play. And here comes the 6-foot freshman, Kaylin Bolzer. Bounce pass to Ruff. Out to Holland. 3, left wing. Good as it rattles home. And it's 12-4. Full court press for the Lady Zebras.
Holland gets her first 3 of the ball game.
Stiver. Bounce pass in to Hartley. She loses the handle. Ball loose on the floor. There's a scramble for it. North Miami's going to lose it out of bounds. It'll go back to Rochester. So Bolzer will come back or come into the game for the first time, and she'll replace Lefevre for the North Miami Warriors. Emma Dahlquist will come in for Rochester, and she'll replace Allie Larkin. So now you got a 6-footer Dahlquist, 6-footer Bolzer, 6'2" Kennedy, and a 5'7" Hartley who plays like a 6-footer.
Right. And you got Grant in there for North Miami who's got some muscle on her.
Holland left wing. Cross baseline pass to Malco. Makes a great catch. Now to Ruff, back to Holland. Between the rings. Back to Ruff, right wing 3 for the Lady Zebras. It's short. Malco with the rebound. Put back on the way. No good. Rebound for North Miami as Grant comes out of there with it. Now we're going to have a reach-in foul on Becky Malco with 2:13 to play in the first quarter. Rochester by 8 at 12-4.
Malco picks up her first team first for the Lady Zebras.
So a North Miami basketball to bounce baseline left. They'll work against the full court press for the Lady Zebras as Stiver will look to get it in.
We call Grant the 5'10" senior for North Miami. She's a strong girl down low.
Yep. She gets the pass into Stiver, gives it back to Stiver. She runs against Holland. Stiver across the timeline right. Works right in front of Coach Stasiak. Now on the right wing inside the three-point line. Outside to Tim. Tim's with the basketball. Maddie Stiver will come back in or come in for the first time today. Gives to Hartley against Malco. Hartley against the double team. Gives the Bolzer outside to Stiver. Just inside the arc. Long 3 is off the glass. No good. And a fight for the rebound is going to be tipped out of bounds by North Miami. It'll go back to the Zebras.
Good block out by Morgan Ruff. She was down in the below the volleyball line there, fighting in amongst all those tall girls for that rebound.
Shiley comes in. Kennedy gets the below. 1:45 to play in the first quarter. 12-4 Rochester. Rochester still working against that 2-3 zone.
Dahlquist double team down low between Bowles and
surprised me. We've seen that a lot happen. We had a 2-3s. Malco in the paint. Loses the handle, but picked up by Ruff on the baseline. Now to Holland on the right elbow. X backs it out behind the three-point line. Back to Ruff. Mo lobs it into Emma. She loses the handle, and North Miami tips it out of bounds. It'll stay with Rochester baseline right with 1:24 to play in the first.
That's a real tough pass down there with Bolzer, Grant, and Hartley along that bottom of the zone.
X now will be the triggered in, baseline right. Bounce pass into Ruff on the right wing. Top of the key to Malco. Swings quickly left side to Holland. Holland against Hartley. Works to the wing. Couple of dribbles. Now middle of the floor for Rochester and recess. Now to Malco in the left corner. Baseline pass to Shiley. Taken away by Grant. Now North Miami has it run to our right. Down by 8.
It's going to be hard to attack that bottom side of that zone with those 3 for the Lady Warriors.
Tim against the double team. Almost traveled. Rochester almost forces the turnover. Now does. Shiley picks it up and gives to Malco. Becky on the run.
8th first quarter turnover for the Lady Warriors. 8.
50 seconds to play, and I think Coach Stasiak wins the final shot of the period. If North Miami, especially if North Miami stays in that 2-3 zone, now they extend it out to that volleyball line.
That's a tough matchup right now with the personnel that North Miami has in the game for that 2-3 zone.
Yeah. 38 seconds. Malco holds, bounce pass to Ruff with 33. Mo back to Malco in the center circle with 30. Becky holds with 29. Right side pass to Holland, now back to Malco with 26. Gives near side to Ruff right in front of the scorer's table with 23. Mo holds with 22. A couple of dribbles to her right. Cross court pass to Holland with 17. X holds with 15. Alexa Holland now gives him out to the center circle with 13. She creeps out of the center circle to her right with 10. Works to the right wing with 9. Becky out to Ruff with 6. Penetrates out to Malco with 4. Becky's pull-up 15-footer is short, and the rebound to Hartley, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. After one, Rochester leads 12-4. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI. Welcome back to Rochester High School. We're going to the second quarter right now. The Lady Zebras leading 12-4 after thanks to several first quarter forced turnovers.
Yeah, Lady Warriors 8 turnovers in that first quarter, and a couple of buckets by Hartley is where the 4 points came for the Lady Warriors. Holland and Malco lead the Lady Zebras with 5 apiece.
Rochester will start the second quarter of the basketball. Peyton Stasiak still on the bench, nursing an arch injury in that left foot.
It was also the same leg which she had the knee problems with, and that's going to be, probably just a good idea to just let her rest that, keep it, work on getting it stronger.
So North Miami sticking to that 2-3 zone. Why not? It's worked for a couple of other teams this year.
And they've got some good personnel in there on that bottom of that zone that's making it tough for the Lady Zebras.
Holland drives the baseline, cut off, wrap around past the Emma Dahlquist. Is going to be tied up, and North Miami going to get it after the Rochester turnover.
And that's the third turnover. That's Rochester's 4th turnover, but the third one that they've had trying to attack the bottom of that zone against the Lady Warriors.
Stiver looks to get it in. Goes to the Bolzer. Gives back to Stiver. Stiver across the timeline, outruns Holland to the elbow. Down little Lefevre. She travels, no call. Back to Stiver. Jumper off the glass is no good. Rebound fault for, and I believe we're going to have a foul coming against North Miami, either Bolzer or Hartley, on the offensive board attempt.
Go against Bolzer. That's her first, team third.
7:15 to play first half. 12-4. Rochester the lead. Holland works to the left wing. Right wing pass to Larkin.
6-foot Bolzer for North Miami, just a freshman. As is Hartley.
They're going to see her sister next year. She's 6'3", and y'all get looked by Purdue.
They are going to be good in a few years.
Hartley across the timeline. Ruff will come back in quickly. Now to Stiver. Down low to Lefevre. Her jumper is no good. Put back by Bolzer is no good. And Shiley grabs the board and gives to Malco. Malco runs for Rochester through the center circle. Right wing pass to Larkin. A couple of dribbles to her left. Top of the key now. Sends left wing to Holland. Now to Malco. 3. Left baseline is in as it rolls around and falls through. 15-4.
Malco gets her second 3 of the ball game.
Stiver, that is, gets it into 10. Gets it across the timeline against Larkin. Lob pass to Hartley on the baseline. Hartley just about had it tied up and loses the ball. We're going to now a double dribble on Hartley. It's going to go back to Rochester as Mo comes back into the game and Shively to sit down. Also coming back into the game is Ricketts for North Miami, and she'll replace Stiver. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. 6:25 to play first half. Rochester up 15-4, and the Lady Zebras with the basketball going to our left. Malco sends top of the key to Larkin, right wing pass to Holland. Stands about 5 feet behind the arc. Now to Larkin between the rings, the volleyball line, and to Malco. Couple of dribbles inside the three-point line. Back to Larkin, gives right side to Ruff. Ruff kicks it out to Holland. 3, right baseline away. No good, way off the mark, but weak side rebound to Malco. Gives to Holland in the baseline. X out to Malco. 3, left wing for the Lady Zebras. No good again. And the rebound is tipped out of bounds by Ruff, and it'll go back to North Miami. 3 opportunities on that trip. I'll take that every time down the floor.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, when you can get Holland for a 3 and Malco wide open for a 3, both of those didn't go, but wide open looks nonetheless.
Full court press by the Lady Zebras. Rickett will look to get it in. Still looking to get it in. And her pass is taken away by Ruff to Malco. Down low to Dahlquist. Dahlquist loses it. Ball still loose. Emma gets it back. Gives to Ruff, who tips it to Malco. Nice heavy play there by Morgan Ruff. Musselman will come back into the game. Holland on right wing. X to Larkin. Left wing three on the way. Good! Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Allie Larkin getting into the book for the three.
18-4. Bolzer gets the inbound pass from Rickett, and she gets it back through the center circle now.
Anytime Larkin can get a 3 or 2 to drop, it's going to be a good day.
Yep, I agree. Hartley near side to Timms. Sammy Timms, a couple of dribbles against Ruff. Prairie carries the basketball, no call. Goes to the baseline, throws up a tough shot. It does not go. Rebound fall forward, ball loose from the ground. X comes out of there with it. It's going to be a tie-up. Rochester going to get it back. Musselman back in, and Dahlquist will come out. 5:08 to play, first half. Rochester up 18-4. And, you know, we talk about conference basketball. There is a dandy tonight at Tippecanoe Valley.
Wow, yeah. Number 6 in Class 2A, Whitco, versus number 7 in 3A, Tippecanoe Valley.
Yeah, boy.
At Valley.
That will go a long way in deciding who wins the conference championship, I got a feeling.
Arguably, maybe even not arguably, but the best 2 players in the conference, in Allie Reese and Secret.
Actually, we're going to call her Rice because there is a Reese on the team.
Oh, okay, Rice.
Inbound pass is taken away by a skying Hartley, and she rips and runs for North Miami. 18-4 Rochester, 4:35 to play in the first half. Hartley gives to Bolzer. Her jumper over Musselman is on the glass. No good. Good block out by Kennedy. And Malco comes in there with and gets the rebound. Malco on the left wing picks up her dribble. Top of the key to Ruff. Ruff gives him the baseline to Larkin. 3 on the way, right side is good again.
Hey, Larkin with her second 3-pointer this quarter.
21-4. Left.
I would give Larkin a green light all day long to shoot those.
North Miami commits another turnover. Stiver comes back into the game, and Timms will come out. And now North Miami will use their third timeout of the half. It is 8:30. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI. .4:10 to play in the first half. Rochester up 21-4, and after the Lady Warriors timeout, Rochester will have it going to our left. Malco will bring it up the floor. She'll cross through the center circle and work to the right side against the 2-3 zone.
Larkin with a couple of threes, and Malco with a 3 here in the second quarter.
Allie is hot right now. Give it to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Top to Holland.
Well, you'll notice she's drawing a little bit tougher defense from Lefevre as they come out face guard Larkin on the 3-point arc.
Holland to Ruff in the right corner. Mo dribbles to the wing. Works against North Miami's 2-3 zone. Now to Holland near side to Larkin. Oh, she had it again, too.
Wide open.
Holland 3 straight away. So good off the mark. There's Ruff with an offensive rebound, and she's fouled going to the basket by Lefevre, I believe. It'll be out of bounds to Rochester baseline right with 3:40 to play in the first half.
Lefevre with her first team fourth. Right now, the Lady Zebras pitching a second quarter shutout against the Lady Warriors.
Holland lobs it in near the timeline to Larkin. She chases it down and sets up shots. Tries it left hard. Now to Malco, just inside the arc, out to X. Holland now backs out and resets for the Rochester Ladies between the ring. And now a man-to-man defense by North Miami. Holland goes to the basket. Hard layup is
no good. Well,
before the shot.
Called off.
Before the shot, we're going to have a foul as she blew right around Ricketts, I believe. Nope, she blew around Rickett, and then Bolzer picked up the foul.
That's her second.
Timmy Grant comes back into the game, and Lefevre sets down. 3:27 to play first half. Rochester by 17.
2 fouls now on the 6-foot freshman Bolzer.
Holland looks to get it in. Bounce pass into Larkin behind the arc on the right wing. Allie shoots that man.
Shoot it.
Cross court pass to X. X loses it, but picks it up at the time of the baseline. Out to Malco. Now to Ruff. Ruff between the rings against Bolzer. Takes her to the inside the paint. Kicks it out to Malco. Top of the key. Malco in the paint. Cross lane pass to Ruff. She's fouled on the shot. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's Bolzer. That'll be her third.
I tell you what, that was a great look by Malco to win across the lane in traffic and find Ruff.
They found Rickett for the foul. That's her first team 6th.
The Mo's the line to shoot 2 for the Lady Zebras. First one for the sophomore is no good. She'll have one more. 21-4 Rochester. 3:10 to play in the first half. Mo with one more for Rochester. Eyes the second one, lets it fly, and this one's good. 22-4, Rochester steps up in a full court press. Stiver gets it into Bolzer, back to Stiver. Stiver runs to the Lady Warriors. Across the timeline against Holland. In the center circle now for North Miami. Works it to the right wing. Gets a pick from Bolzer. Goes to the baseline. Cut off by the double team. Picks up her dribble. Gets it out to Hartley. Hartley behind the arc. Now at the volleyball line. She loses the dribble off her foot. Picks it up and regains dribble. To Grant at the left elbow. Outside to Hartley. Sends right wing to Stiver. Stiver against the double team. Splits it. Goes to the basket. Wrap around pass down low to Grant. We're going to have a foul on Ruff before the shot. It'll be out of bounds to North Miami baseline left.
Ruff picks up her first, team second.
We can't split that double team on the wing. No, that can't happen.
No, we can't.
Make that Stiver look to get it in. Stiver looking over the top of the defense to Bolzer. Bolzer grabs it, and then Ruff rips it away from her. And oh, my good heavens.
Good Lord.
Ruff is going to pick up the foul.
Ruff just took the ball right out of Bolzer's hands, and then she, after the that play, they call her for a reach-in.
That's an awful call.
That was bad.
That's an awful call.
That's the second foul on Ruff. Team's third. Morgan just
she does that. If she does that 100 more times, she won't get that foul call on her 100 more times. Nope. North Miami with the basketball.
And the worst thing is, it was one thing to call the foul, but he called it after the play was over.
Yeah.
Morgan Ruff was on her way down, almost ready to take the ball down the floor.
Malco forces a turnover. Rochester's basketball. Out to Larkin. Larkin drives into the paint. Kicks it out to Malco. Top to a wide open Holland. She drives around the defense in the paint. Wrap around pass to Shively. Layup is good. 24-4.
Probably a good thing Maddie Shively's left-handed.
Oh, Bolzer then travels. Yes.
Another turnover against the Lady Warriors.
2:14 to play in the first half. Rochester up 24-4. It'll be Rochester basketball out of bounds across the gym. Larkin gets it into Holland and sets it up to Malco, top of the key, and Rochester will set up shop at the volleyball line. To Holland, three, right wing, rattles in for three more. 27-4, Rochester, 2 minutes to play.
That's the sixth three-pointer now for Rochester in this first half.
Rickon now will bring it up the floor, and here comes the half-court trap by the Lady Zebra defense. Gives to Stiver. Now to Timms. Timms against Musselman, and Kennedy is going to commit the foul on the body, and that's going to send Timms to the line to shoot two. I think if she doesn't step up to that and just rises up, I think she will.
In Kennedy's defense, she had her hand on the top of the ball, and
killed somebody.
Well, but who was that?
Timms, yep.
Timms. She initiated the contact.
Yeah, good call. Free throw by Timms is no good as it bounces around the rim a couple of times. Emma Dahlquist will come back into the game, and Emma will replace Kennedy Musselman.
I think Kennedy's feet were planted. I think Timms is the one that created the contact as she moved forward.
Minute 50 to play in the first half. Rochester up 27-4. Timms, second free throw for North Miami. This time is good.
That's their first point of the second quarter.
Just about this shutout, didn't they?
Yep.
Rochester with it going to our left. Holland crosses the timeline left now against the 2-3 zone again.
Rochester's defensive average is now under 30 points a game. They're only allowing 29-point-something a game. Holland
looks back to Coach Stasiak, gets her instructions. We're down to 90 seconds to play in the first half. Rochester up 27-5. Holland holds in the center circle, and North Miami allowing her to just run clock. Down to a minute 25 to play in the first half. Holland stands in the center circle. That 2-3 zone now from North Miami extended to the volleyball line.
Holland, Malco, and Larkin all with threes in this quarter.
Holland now at North Miami in a man-to-man defense. Outside left to Malco. Becky, right wing pass to Larkin. In the corner to Holland. Eck now on the wing. Dribbles top of the key to Larkin between the rings. Works against Grant. Still a man-to-man defense. Minute to play. What'd you say?
That's it. Still a minute to go.
Yep. Larkin around the defense in the paint. Jumper's blocked from behind, but a foul coming on Emmy Grant. And Allie Larkin will go to the line to shoot two.
Grant will pick up her first foul, team 7. Larkin with 2 3-pointers in this second quarter. First trip to the free throw line.
And unfortunately, free throw by Larkin is no good. She might have been distracted by the horn that went off in the middle of her shot.
But you can't substitute that in a first free throw.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Allie Larkin's second one on the way is no good again, and the rebound by Grant. Stiver with the basketball. 50 seconds to play, first half. Keaton making her way to the locker room now, and at this pace, she may get there before the rest of the team.
Do a little hopscotch to the locker room.
Jumper for North Miami is no good. Ball being tipped around. Grant comes out of the rhythm. Her putback is good.
Great job by Amy Grant to fight for that loose ball and come up with it.
30 seconds to play. First half, 27-7. Rochester on top. Rochester the basketball going to our left as the first half clock coming to a close. Malco way outside right. We're down to 19. Becky holds with 17. Now backs away from the defense with 15 as the count still applied. What? Now down to 13. Malco near the timeline. Dribbles around the defense with 10. He's going to have to get rid of it. Now dribbles just away from the defense, just far enough to stop the count.
He counted to 4 and quit.
Larkin with 3, 4 threes, no good. And we're going to have a foul, I believe, by Rochester with .2 to play in the first half. Shively going to pick up a foul. That'll be her first. So at halftime, the Rochester Lady Zebras lead 27-7. The halftime show coming up next on 92.1 WROI. Going to the third quarter here at Rochester High School. The Lady Zebras come out of the locker room with their original 4 plus Kennedy because Keaton carried out of the locker room, and we have reports that she is done for the afternoon.
Yeah, and we may not see her until after Christmas.
Yeah, as a matter of fact. North Miami the basketball going to our left. Rochester up 27-20, and Hartley guards our best defender in Becky Malco. The man-to-man defense by Rochester. Hartley outside left, down low to Lefevre. Lefevre wrap around pass to Grant. Her jumper off the glass is good.
And the Lady Warriors worked that pretty well. They attacked the side of the floor where Musselman was at and was able to get it across to the opposite side, on the weak side, to Grant.
Wrap around pass down low to Musselman. Kennedy puts her high off the glass. Net. Rebound to Grant. Good penetration and good pass by Malco. Kennedy couldn't finish it. 27-9 Rochester, 7:20 to play in the third.
Well, better see him come too hard off the glass than not hard enough and hit the bottom of the rim like we saw against Wahlberg. I'm going to throw that out there all year long.
Yep, that's all I had made. So Tim chucks the ball out of bounds.
That's one game I don't want to see repeated.
Yeah, right on.
Performance.
Hartley comes out of the game. North Miami to 2-3 zone. Larkin to Malco, between the rings, to Ruff, to Holland. 3 right wing is short. Ball is going to bounce out of bounds and it'll go back to North Miami. Well, there was just no legs there for X that time. Yeah, just a little short. Minute gone in the third, 27-9 Rochester, and the Lady Zebras in a full court press. Even Kennedy gets involved in a full court press. Rickett across the timeline. Here comes the double team. Ball's loose. Holland picks it up, loses the ball, dribbles, gives to Ruff. Left-handed layup on the way is good.
Good defense between Malco and Holland as they trap the Warriors in the corner to midcourt.
Stiver gets it across the timeline left. Dribbles to the three-point line on the wing. Now backs it out and works into Rochester's man-to-man defense. Holland guards her. Now to Grant. Oh, nice shot fake. Goes to the basket hard. Fortunately, she misses it for Kennedy's sake. She grabs the board and gives to Larkin. Now to Holland on the right wing. X to the basketball. Top the key to Larkin, left side to Malco. Gives to Ruff, kicks it out to Larkin. Larkin drives in the paint, gives to Holland. 3 right wing for the Lady Zebras, short. And the rebound to North Miami's Lefevre, who gives to Tim.
I'd like to see Larkin look for that shot at the top of the key.
Tim's shot is no good. Musselman has a flat-footed rebound, hands off to Malco. Malco pushes the ball up the floor. Malco right wing, accelerates, goes up the shot. Partially blocked, North Miami picks up the loose ball.
Now here's where everybody's shooting percentages start to plummet. Right.
North Miami the basketball going to our left. Rickett against Malco. Top of the key to Stiver. Right side to Tim. Tim's against Ruff. And the pass is taken away by Musselman. Why? Because he's fronting her down low. I like it.
Yep, anticipating the passing route, getting in position.
Malco down low to Kennedy. Her jumper is short. Gets her own rebound. Kicks it out to Larkin. 3 left wing for the Lady Zebras is no good. Rebound to Musselman. She kicks it out to Malco. She'll take the 15-footer right wing. Is off the top of the backboard. No good.
Oh, geez.
The wholesale changes for North Miami.
We might have wanted to come out at halftime and warm up a little bit.
Bolzer, Hartley, and into the game for the first time for North Miami is Sarah Eckroat. Back into the game for the Lady Warriors. 5:22 to play, third quarter.
4 attempts on that position.
Yep. 1 didn't touch the rim.
Yeah.
Stiver works high on the right side. Rochester still in the man-to-man defense. Gives to Lefevre against Musselman. Jumper in the paint is nothing but air. Goes out of bounds. Well, North Miami giving Rochester every opportunity to keep this lead, and Rochester giving them every opportunity to cut into the lead.
You're right. Neither team shooting very well here at the start of this third quarter.
The temperature in here must have been affected them in the locker room.
I think the locker rooms might have been a little chillier than what the gym is.
No, there's nothing chillier than the gym because it's cold. The ball's tipped away and taken away by Lefevre. North Miami runs to our left. Lefevre will go to the basket. Shot no good. Becky Malco will pick up the foul, and that's going to send Lefevre to the line to shoot 2 for the Warriors.
Second on Malco, first of the half.
4:52 to play in the third. 20-point lead for Rochester at 29-9. And there's 2 free throws, so Maddie Shively will come in after the second one as Lefevre, the southpaw, fires it, and it's good. One more coming. Shively comes in, and Musselman comes out.
Everybody, including the official, turning to see, make sure there's not going to be a buzzer.
Lefevre with one more for North Miami. The second one is good as it rattles in. 29-11 as Lefevre hits both freebies for the North Miami Lady Warriors. 4:50 to play in the third. 2-3 zone by North Miami. Holland left wing. Penetrates, kicks it out to Ruff. Dribbles around traffic, gives to Malco, right side to Larkin. Larkin dribbles left, gives back to Malco. In the corner to Ruff. Mo with the basketball against Lefevre. Dribbles to the top of the key for Rochester. Right wing pass to Larkin, gives him the corner to Holland. Holland back to Larkin. Couple of dribbles, left side to Ruff. Mo holds.
Shively's had some openings down low, posting up against Bowser, but you're looking at an 8-inch height differential.
Rowe for 3 is good from the right wing.
That's something you don't see very often. Morgan Ruff pulling up for a three-pointer.
And then the ball is tipped out of bounds by Malco. Boy, I wasn't sure if that was off of Hartley or Malco, but the officials say it's off of Malco. And North Miami will keep possession. Beaver gets the inbounds pass from Stiver and hands off to her. Stiver works against Holland. Stiver drives it right hard to the three-point line, loses the handle, picks up the dribble in the corner against the double team. Down low to Bolzer. Bolzer backs away and throws up a shot. It's good. Nice looking shot for the freshman, Kaylin Bolzer.
Her first bucket of the game.
And it's 32-13. 2-3 zone by the Lady Warriors. Malco top of the key.
Lady Warriors almost equaled their first half output.
Yep, you're right. Malco in the paint. Wrap around past them. Shively, she's bailed out by a foul by North Miami, and Maddie will go to the line to shoot 2 for Rochester.
Hartley going to pick up the foul. Her first. Team first of the half.
Maddie Shively, the lefty, will go to the line to shoot 2 for Rochester. First one of the way is good as it rolls around and falls through. Emma Dahlquist back in the game. Allie Larkin will come out. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. 3:39 to play in the third. Rochester up 33-13. Shively. Second one, good. If she is given the ball, dribbles it off her foot, and it rolls away from her, what happened? I have never seen that.
I don't know. She picked up the ball. Not like somebody had to pick it up.
Well, almost. It just got away from her. The Beaver down low, throws up a tough shot. No good. Ruff with the board. Ruff runs for Rochester to our right. 34-13. Rochester the lead. Malco. Left corner, right wing pass to Ruff. Down low to Dahlquist. Dahlquist backs the way in. Shows up a shoulder for Bolzer. No good. And Lefevre with the rebound. Passes to Stiver, and she pushes. Stiver, left side of the floor against Rochester's man-to-man defense. Gives to Lefevre. Lefevre against Shively. And then we're going to have a foul on the reach-in by X.
Holland's first, team second.
3 minutes to play in the third. Emmy Grant will come back in for North Miami, and coming out will be Lefevre. 34-13. Rochester on top here at Rochester High School.
Lady Warriors with the advantage down low now with Hartley, Grant, and Bolzer.
Hartley, a bad pass for Grant to handle, picked up by Holland, and she pushes right. Holland, left wing pass to Ruff. Mo, couple of dribbles to the wing, back to Holland, middle of the floor, back to Ruff, left wing. She'll fire another 3 for the Lady Zebras. Off the back of the rim, no good. Bolzer with the rebound, and her pass is picked off by Holland. X kicks it out to Ruff. Ruff drives to the free throw line, now backs down behind the 3-point line, left side to Holland. X around the defense. Steps back behind the 3-point line, middle of the floor. Bought about a 3, passes it up now to Mo on the right wing. Bounce pass to Holland on the top of the key. Dribbles left side to Malco. Becky in the lane to Dahlquist. Her jumper is short. Mo the rebound. The putback is good.
Great job by Morgan Ruff. The ball went high to Dahlquist. Ruff just stayed down low along the baseline, come up with that loose ball.
Stiver runs away from Holland on the right wing.
She's got 7 in this quarter.
Goes to the baseline. Cut off by the defense. Down low to Grant. We're going to have a tie-up between Grant and Ruff, and it's going to go to Rochester on the North Miami turnover as Timms will come back into the game.
17 turnovers now for the Lady Warriors.
2:05 to play in the third quarter. 36-13, Rochester. And it'll be Rochester basketball going to our right. Holland jogs it through the center circle. At the volleyball line against the 2-3 zone out the rough. Back to Holland between the rings. Loses the handle, picks up the dribble on the wing. Back to Moe. Now to Holland. Holland works right wing. Underhand pass to Malco on the right wing. Cross-court pass to Ruff on the left wing. Behind the arc on the left side. Now the volleyball line between the circles to Malco. Becky a couple of dribbles. Gives down low to Ruff. Ruff in the paint. Loses the handle. Somehow gets it out to Holland. Now to Malco. Quickly to Shively. Jumper from the free throw line is good for Maddie Shively. Well, 38-13.
He just knocked down 2 free throws from there, so that should be an easy jumper.
Yeah, you would think. Eckroat will walk it up for North Miami. A minute 15 to play in the third. 38-13. Rochester the lead. Eckroat against Ruff. Takes her all the way to the right side, about 10 feet behind the three-point line. And now we're going to have a 5-second count.
Great defense by Morgan Ruff.
Yep. Larkin will come back into the game. Allie will spell Holland, and North Miami will take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI. A minute 7 to play in the third quarter. Rochester leading 38-13, and after the North Miami timeout, which by the way they're down to 1, it'll be Rochester basketball right in front of the North Miami bench.
The Lady Zebras, Morgan Ruff with 7 in this quarter. Maddie Shively with 4. Well, we got the horn after the ball's inbounded.
Woo! We're having a rough day. Minute to play in the third quarter. Rochester's 38-13 lead. Malco in the center circle. North Miami in a 2-3 zone. Now extends it to the volleyball line. Now to Larkin, back to Malco with 46. Becky high on the left side to Ruff with 43. Moe holds. Bounce pass to Malco in the center circle. Quickly to Larkin. Back to Malco with 38. Left side to Ruff with 36. Moe holds. Dribbles to the center circle against Bolzer with 32. Now North Miami in a man-to-man defense. Drives around Bolzer in the paint. Wrap around pass to Dahlquist. Emma down low. And she's going to be fouled on the shot by, I believe, Hartley. And Emma will go to the line to shoot 2. Nice ball. Nice. Oh, before the shot. Are you kidding me?
Well, take it out of bounds. It was against Hartley. That's her second.
Well, now wait a minute.
Now wait.
This cat said before the shot. Now we're shooting free throws.
Now we're shooting. Okay. Well.
Emma has 2. First one on the way is no good off the back of the rim. She'll have one more. I can't help it. One more coming for Dahlquist. 27 seconds to play in the third. Lady Zebras up 38-13. Emma eyes the second one. Sophomore lets it fly, and this one is in and out. No good. Grant with a rebound. Now gives off to Eckroat, and she comes across the timeline with 19. Eckroat down the right wing with 17. Tries to pass it inside, but it's kicked out of bounds by Ruff with 16.3. In time running out here in the third quarter.
Just don't knock the Christmas tree over.
Well, that's 3 rows up in the stands. There's no way the ball's going to get there.
Well, it's got a ticket.
Taking out 4 or 5 spots. It should have 5 tickets. 16 seconds to play in the third. North Miami look to inbound. Eckroat, bounce pass in to Timms. Timms inside the 3-point line. Back to Eckroat with 12. Eckroat between the rings with 10. Down pass out down low to Bolzer. And now we're going to have a foul on the reach in by Ruff. Emma played pretty good defense. The ball kind of squirted away from Bolzer a little bit. And as Bolzer was coming after the ball, Lowe came in and kind of took her legs out from under her and picked up a foul.
Ruff looked like she had ice skates on as she come in hockey match.
7.4. Eckroat looks to get it in, does so to Grant. Grant's jumper no good, with a rebound for Bolzer with 4.
Good defense by Shively.
To Eckroat with 3. Ball tipped away. Timms with 1. Not going to get a shot off. After 3, Rochester leads 38-13. You're listening to Ladies Senior Basketball, 92.1 WROI. The fourth quarter at Rochester High School. The Lady Zebras leading 38-13. Rochester will start this quarter with Musselman, Holland, Shively, Larkin, and Malco. North Miami will have on the floor Eckroat, Sarah Eckroat, Timms, Grant, Hartley, and Bolzer. North Miami will start the basketball going to our left. Brad Thomas on David Musselman. Timms goes in the paint, goes hard to the basket. High off the glass, no good. Musselman grabs the board. Shively comes out of there with it. Now to Larkin, who gives to Malco. Rochester will take their time, probably on each possession, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would guess so, too.
Malco's pass is off the foot of Grant. The play continues and turnover Rochester. Eckroat to Hartley against a double team. Hartley pushes off, no call. Again, the corner loses the handle. Last touch by Rochester out of bounds. And it'll come in play on the far sideline in front of the student section with 7.5 to play in the game. Rochester up 38-13.
They're rather crowding the floor there.
Yeah, not much room in that corner, is there?
No.
Hartley down low to Grant, tipped out of bounds by Musselman. Good recovery by Fort Kennedy. And it'll be out of bounds to North Miami baseline right. Eckroat will look to trigger it in. Sarah Eckroat, 4'10". Eckroat's got 3 inches on her. Down low to Grant. Grant against Musselman. And then Kennedy leaning over Musselman is going to pick up that foul every time. She's got to be straight up.
That's her second. Team fourth. Yeah, you're right. She had a good idea. She had her hands up, but she leaned over the top, and that's where she got called.
Her hands were over the top of Grant instead of straight up. Emma Grant's free throw is good for the senior. She'll have one more. 38-14.
5 for Grant.
One more coming for Grant, the 5'10" senior for the Lady Warriors. Eyes the second one, lets it fly, and it's good again. Morgan Ruff will come back into the game, and Shively will sit. 7:22 to play in the basketball game, 38-15 Rochester. That'll be Lady Zebra basketball going to our right.
Lady Warriors 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
Yeah, so that's good.
Positive for them.
Man-to-man defense now for North Miami. Ruff against Bolzer. Takes her right hard in the paint. Wrap around past the Musselman, and actually that's going to be a shot for Ruff. And Mo will go to the line to shoot two as she is fouled in the paint. The Bolzer?
Yep, Bolzer, that's her third.
Mo at the line to shoot two.
Ruff with 8 points in the basketball game.
That's the first one.
7 of those came in the third quarter.
One more coming for the sophomore, Morgan Ruff. Mo eyes the second one, lets it fly. It's good this time, 39-15. 50 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. Full court press by the Lady Zebras. Hartley gets the inbounds pass from Eckroat, and Eckroat gets it back from Hartley. She'll jog it through the center circle against Holland. Eckroat drives it right hard, top of on the wing, and then her pass is picked off by Malco. Becky Malco will go in, and it's blocked out of bounds, and actually on the block, Hartley commits a foul.
That'll be Hartley's third. Well, if you're going to commit the foul, don't let the shot go in.
She had to make up a bunch of space to come in and try to get that block.
She came from the opposite side of the floor.
Becky Malco at the line for two for Rochester. Malco's first one on the way is no good, in and out. She'll have one more. 39-15 Rochester. Back into the game is Stiver, and Rickett back in for North Miami. Bolzer and Eckrow to come out.
Malco with 8 first-half points. She's looking for her first points here in the second half.
Becky Malco eyes the second one, lets it fly, and it's no good again. And Grant with a rebound. Good. 39-15. Rochester up with 6:50 to play in the basketball game here at Rochester High School. Timms works on the right wing behind the arc against Ruff. Takes to the baseline. Spin move inside the lane. Now outside to Stiver. Stiver with the basketball.
Hartley working against Malco down low. And she is open.
And the pass is tipped away and stolen by Holland. Nice recovery by Malco.
Yeah, it was. Hartley beat her across the lane, but Malco came just in time to tip the ball away on the pass.
Right wing to Malco. Becky looking for Musselman down low. Can't get it to her. On the block outside to Larkin. Now on the left wing to Holland. Extra traffic. Gets a pick from Ruff. Works right side. Loses the handle. Picks up the basketball. Down low to Ruff. Mo is fouled trying to go to the basket. And
will pick up her second. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be on Grant as well. 6:09 to play in the game. Rochester basketball baseline right. X bounce pass into Larkin in the corner. Allie now to the wing. Dribbles top of the key and gives to Malco. Becky works against Hartley. One couple of dribbles. Now right wing pass to X. Holland to the basketball for Rochester. Ooh. This is the lob down low in the paint. Wraparound pass to Ruff. Layup is good. Great look for Holland. And Mo is the first Lady Zebra in double figures.
Has 11 now.
41-15. Rochester up with 5:45 to play in the basketball game. Rickett against Larkin. Down low to Hartley. Hartley against the triple team. Has it ripped away by Holland. X to the basketball, middle of the floor. X over the top of the defense to Ruff. Ruff is fouled on the shot. Hartley picks up a foul. Mo will go back to the line to shoot 2. 5:32 to play in the game. Back into the game is Lefevre after the first free throw by Morgan Ruff.
Hartley picks up her 4th.
Morgan Ruff with 2. Sophomore flies the first one, it's good. Lefevre back into the game for North Miami. And A.D. Hartley will come out.
That's the 10th second half point for
I like her. I like her. Second one for Ruff is good again. 43-15. 5.5 to play in the game. Timms with the basketball. Man-to-man defense by the Lady Zebras. Timms against Ruff in the paint. Travels.
Yep, so.
Rochester going to get it back on another Lady Warrior turnover. Eckrow will come back into the game for North Miami, and she'll replace Sammy Timms for the Lady Warriors. 43-15. Keaton Stasiak has been out most of this game with an arch injury in her left foot, and she will not return tonight. Not sure what her status is for Tuesday night. Holland to the right wing, top to Larkin. Left side to Malco. Becky a couple of dribbles. North Miami back in that 2-3 zone.
Yep.
Ruff resets between the rings of the volleyball line. Crossover dribble goes left hard. Now to Malco. Becky cross-court pass to Larkin. 3 on the way, right baseline. Good!
Allie Larkin gets her 3rd 3-pointer of the ball game.
46-15.
She now has 9.
4:45 to play in the game. North Miami the basketball works against the man-to-man defense. Eckrow against Ruff. Eckrow inside the 3-point line. Now backs it out to Rickett now against Malco. Rickett dribbles between the rings to North Miami at the volleyball line. Now dribbles to the left wing. Malco is the defense. Almost loses it. Now does. Malco. Cross lane pass to Ruff. Her layup is no good, but another foul coming to North Miami, and Ruff will go back to the line again for 2 more.
Ruff is 3 of 4 in this quarter alone. Free throw line. Stiver picks up her second.
Jalen Bolzer will come back in for the Lady Warriors after the first freebie for Ruff. First one on the way is good. Nothing but a bomb in the net. Nice soft shot by the sophomore. Well, one more as Emmy Grant comes out of the game for North Miami. 47-15. Rochester on top with 4:26 to play in the game. Ruff eyes the second one and lets it fly, and it's good again as it hits the front of the iron, hits the backboard, and rolls through. Rickett will walk it through the center circle where Becky Malco will pick her up at the volleyball line. Works to the right wing now for North Miami. Bounce pass is taken away by Larkin. Allie pushes for Rochester, and Coach Stasiak says, hey, let's slow up a little bit, and now gives to Malco. Becky Left wing pass to Larkin. Allie's had a nice shooting day for Rochester. Now Holland.
3 3-pointers for
Yep.
Larkin.
Holland to follow the free throw line. Out to Larkin. Allie a couple of dribbles to her left. In the lane pass to Malco. Ball loose from the floor. Bolzer picks it up and gives to Stiver.
Just the 10th turnover for the Lady Zebras.
Kayla Stiver. Right wing for North Miami. Pass goes to left to Lefevre. Back to Stiver. Her jumper's no good. And Musselman and Bolzer is tied up. It'll go back to Rochester with 3:40 to play in the game, 48-15. Our next action for the Rochester Lady Zebras will be a Tuesday night as they travel to Mechanical to battle the Lady Braves. And I believe what is the first ever meeting between the two teams. Val, is that right? Okay. That last year in a non-conference game?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
That's all right.
And then Rochester turns it over on an over and back call. Anyway, it is a non-conference game, or it is a conference game this year to make up from earlier in the year, and Rochester will play Mechanical on Tuesday night. A JV tip is 6:15. You can hear that game here on WRLI. And we're off for a couple of days.
Yeah, like a holiday or something coming up this week.
I think there is one.
Yeah.
Ball tipped away, and Allie Larkin steals the tipped basketball, and will bring it up the floor. 3 minutes to play in the game, 48-15. Holland. North Miami back in a man-to-man defense. Holland between the circles. Right corner pass to Malco. Becky thought about passes into the paint. She does to Musselman. Musselman back the way in. Throws up a tough shot. Bolzer gets a piece of it. Ruff comes out of there with an offensive board. Now to Holland. X drives it left hard. Brings it back outside. Now to Larkin at the volleyball line. 2.5 to play in the game. 48-15 Rochester. Malco.
Morgan Russ posting up, down low.
Well, I think she should. She's got a height advantage.
Yeah.
And Coach Stasiak will make a line change. 15-footer for X is no good. Ruff, another offensive board. Kicks it out to Larkin, and Allie will pull it out. Run some clock. Malco in the paint. Kicks it out to Larkin near the volleyball line. And I'll be surprised if Coach Stasiak doesn't use a timeout here to get his kids in. Larkin, shoot it. Holland outside left. High on the left side. There's the timeout.
Yeah.
It'll be a 30. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI.
Returning to the game is Lady Warriors number 24, number 20, Adrian Hartman. For the Lady Zebras, Maggie Shively, Courtney Gass, Emma Nolan.
2:04 to play in the basketball game. Rochester leads 48-15. And they got some new faces in the game for Rochester. Allie Harsh, Karina Peterson, Courtney Gass, and Maddie Shively's already been in this game, and I think she has about 4 points, doesn't she?
Yes.
Gass with the basketball, has her pocket pick. Tim picks it up. Oh, really? Okay. Tim switches for North Miami. Under 2 to play. She'll go coast to coast. Layup is no good off the mark. Bolzer with the rebound. She loses the handle. Picked up by Harsh. And Allie Harsh gives off to Courtney Gass, and she'll walk through the center circle with 100 seconds to play in the game. Gets a nice screen from Harsh. Nice roll by Allie Harsh. And kicks it out to Shively. Shively runs the baseline. Her shot away is good, Allie. And Maddie Shively has 8. Nice job by Maddie, who was fighting off some contact on that baseline and took it to the rack. Minute 20 to play, 50-15. Eckroat holds and directs traffic against Rochester's man-to-man defense to Hartley. Outside right to Stiver. Stiver against Shiley. From top the key to Bolzer. Bolzer against Dahlquist. Outside to Eckroat on the left wing with 65 seconds to play in the game. Timms in the corner to Stiver. Stiver drives the baseline, goes in for the left-handed layup is no good. Rebound put back by Eckler is good from 10 feet away. And it's 50-17. Rochester's given up 10 points in this half after a good third quarter by North Miami.
You're right, yeah.
Karina Peterson with 45. Peterson on the right wing tips the ball out of bounds. It'll go to North Miami. And Coach Stasiak's like, look, you can't give up on the play because North Miami's not going to give up on the play, and that's what happened there. They forced a turnover. 42 seconds to play in the game, 50-17. North Miami with the basketball going to our left. Timms walks it through the center circle. Peterson will pick her up at the three-point line. Left wing pass to Stiver. Stiver rolls her around. The Bulls are picked in the paint. Wrap around pass down low to Bolzer. Her jumper is in and out, no good. And the basketball is knocked out of bounds by Bolzer. That thing did everything but go down.
Jeez, yeah. I'm not sure it didn't touch the net when it rolled around the rim.
Yeah, I agree. 27.9 to play in the game. Rochester going to run their mark to 11-0 overall. 3-0 in the TRC. And Gass will cross the timeline with 19 on the game clock. Shively, a big night, big day. Jumper in the paint is short. Dahlquist with the rebound. Out to Shively with 10. Maddie at the right elbow. Works to the top of the key and resets for Rochester with 6, with 5, with 4, with 3. And that'll do it. The final this afternoon at Rochester High School. The Rochester Lady Zebras defeat the North Miami Lady Warriors 50-17. Post-game show coming up next on 92.1 WROI.